Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it is time to introduce a new vlog. This is Brett. He is a former Team Blaha client, advanced lifter. On most of his lifts, he struggles a little bit with squat. We're going to fix that. But he was deadlifting over 600 pounds when he left Team Blaha before. I believe he was around 630. All right, he detrained. He didn't work out for a couple months. He came back a little while back and said, hey, I'm going to start working out a couple weeks on my own. I want to come back on. I see you're doing the vlogs. I want to do the vlogs. Let me come back on. I want to do this, coach. I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. This is his first week of training. We established some pretty low training maxes. He pulled 550 the other day, about a week before we started this template. So, I mean, his deadlift's coming back up, but we're programming off of a training max of 500 on his deadlift, 275 on his bench, 335 on squat, 170 on the overhead press. But again, I want people to understand that when we do that, those are not his maxes. Right? He can bench more than 275. He can deadlift more than 500. He pulled 550. If I need to, I can put a clip of it. People say, no, he didn't. I've got clips of him deadlifting over 600 actually. So I don't need that nonsense, but I could put up the 550 later if people want to say, no, he didn't pull it recently. Now he has lost muscle. He's detrained. So we're going to do a quick rebuild, which means boring but big, right? So we're doing 5x10s on stuff. And then I will take him over to heavier work as soon as the muscle memory kicks in. Right, when he can walk in and we can easily pull a training max of 550 plus on the deadlift. It's a training max, not even a true max. And we can see anything over 300 on a really easy training max on his bench and so on. I will take him over to more heavy work, but we've got to hypertrophy the muscle that he lost. Right, he had several months of no real training. I'm not going to get into what happened. I know what happened. And so we're going to build him back up. Our goal is a 700 deadlift. That was our original goal, and we were on track for that last year at some point. But again, he had some personal stuff come up, so we dealt with it. He's ready to get back on board. He is ready to get to that 700 deadlift. Now, squatting is going to be harder for him. He will probably deadlift 700 before he squats 5. But we'll get him to a 500 squat. And like I said, for now, we're programming off a conservative 335 training max on the squat. So even just now, he did, 285 for 5, which is not bad. And we'll build it from here. Now, this first week, we started a little rough. He got sick this week. But he's like, well, let's go ahead and do the training anyways. So he mostly just did 5s for the 5+ sets. We didn't take them all the way out, but we got all the volume work in. And the main thing for him is getting him back under the bar again. Doing some moderately heavy work. So we'll do, 5, 3, 1+ sets. Getting some moderately heavy work in, getting some reps in, and then getting our training volume. So we need both the practice hitting some slightly heavier lifts. We need to get his muscle mass back, right? We need to get muscle mass back for him. So again, these 5x10s will do it real fast. And if you guys notice what we have pretty much for supplemental work on the upper days, it's rows, we're doing curls, we're doing band press downs. Again, he doesn't need a lot else yet, right? We were going to bring this back up slowly. Doesn't need a lot else. Lower days, again, pretty simple also. We're just doing glute ham raises, and we're doing ab work, right? Glute ham raises, ab work, and that's what he needs. But the glute ham raises, we do 5 sets of 10. So again, pretty similar to what you guys see me do there. And again, for him, that's sufficient. If you think in terms of lower body on our squat day, we do, again, our ramp up to our 5-3-1, does 5x10, and we'll bring up the percentages on that over time. And then on the squat, then we do 5x10 on the glute ham raise, and we repeat that for the deadlift. terms of training volume, especially for someone coming back off some muscle memory, oh yeah, that's plenty. People don't need to always do the volumes you guys see me do. And really, if you look at a lot of my volumes, really my real volume, it tends to be ab work and pull-ups and stuff like that. It's really, and rowing. That's what you guys really see my volume at. Because honestly, outside of that, I really just do my basic lifts. I do some glute ham raises. All right, I'm doing a lot of tricep work. But again, he's doing pretty similar because we're doing all that arm work. We're doing arm work. But you look at the upper days, it's kind of same thing. So that's what you see for lowers, and that's more than sufficient. Again, look at the squat volume. Look at the deadlift volume. All right, press day, pretty similar. Pretty similar. We ramp up to his 5-rep set. We're just working off a training max of 170. We tested a little while back, and he was able to hit 185 for a standing press. He's previously been at 200 plus. Like, he's a 200 presser. So, again, he's much better at deadlift. He is really, we're looking at deadlift specialization for him. We're even talking about maybe doing a deadlift only meet later. But we want to get all his lifts up. But for the overhead press, we do the same thing. We build it up, then we do a 5x10, then he does 5x10 rows, and then we do a bunch of arm work. So he does barbell curls, we do band press downs. Again, very, very basic. Very basic stuff. And as far as the torso work goes, again, that's 10 sets of rows every week. It's 10 sets of 10 on total pressing between the benching and the overhead press, and that's not counting the heavy work. That's a lot of pec, shoulder, back work. Then you factor in that we do volume back off work on the deadlifts. I mean, that's a lot. So the only thing really not getting to work that much is his arms. So we do barbell curls, which you guys will see after all this. We do barbell curls, and then he does band press downs. And I didn't include them for day one because this vlog is going to run on pretty long, right? It's going to run on pretty long because, again, we have a lot of work in here. So I probably only used 50% of the footage we had for this week, maybe less, because I could have made this vlog 30 minutes because he recorded all his glute ham raise sets and stuff, which again is good for me as a coach. But again, you guys don't want a 30-minute vlog from a single client, especially when it's repeating the same lifts and when I have this many. But we might do some of that. I might run one out really long for him. If he records all of it eventually, I might do a 20 or a 25-minute vlog. But again, the overhead press, 5x10 after the peak set. Again, working at 85% training max. And then we do arm work. So, I'm sorry, we do Pendlay rows. So, Pendlay rows for him. And I mean, people say, why not dumbbell rows? Whatever. Well, he doesn't really have a lot in the way of dumbbells. So we'll do these. I will work some pull-ups and stuff in later for him. But for now, rows. I want to make sure his upper back is strong. The Pendlay rows will carry over to his deadlifts. And as he gets more muscle memory back, starts getting a little more advanced, we'll want to hit those couple of angles. And so we'll work in some pull-ups and stuff to go with the rowing. But, right now, this is 10 sets of rows. And I had programmed him to do more deadlifting this week, but he was really, really feeling under the weather. So we pretty well stopped. So this week got cut a little short. Had a little bit of COVID going on here. So it really interfered. Like he couldn't breathe to do his deadlift. So even when we got there, he stopped at 5 on his 5+. And then we just call it a week and said, you know what, we'll get it next week. We got good training stimulus this week. But curls, we do 5x10 on straight bar curls. Notice he's doing full range of motion, right? Full range of motion. And he's obviously not a small guy. And again, he's lost muscle. Like, muscle's going to come back quick. He has been bigger than this. This is not the normal size I'm used to seeing him at. And for those curious, he's taller. He's like 6'2", 6'3". Then we do band press downs. Again, We need to bring those arms back up quickly, especially for a taller, lankier guy. We've got to fill those arms back out, and particularly for him because he prefers closed grip benching just for shoulder health. Being a long arm, taller guy, we've got to make sure we get that tricep work in, right? We've got to bring those triceps up. All right, then we had deadlifting, and I believe he strapped up for the first set or two, just to again save his hands. All right, just to save his hands. Yeah, notice we got those specialty bars in the background. We'll use some of those throughout this for supplemental work later. But he just did 5, 5, and then 5. And I think his final set, because we're only working off of a training max of 500, even though he's pulled 550 just over a week ago, he pulled 550 just fine. But it was really grindy. So I'm like, look, that was slow, that was grindy. I know it's weak for you based on your training history, but we need to work off 500. We need to build some runway. So he ended up, I think, doing for the last set, we did 425, he did 5. Was feeling under the weather, and so, we pretty much called it for the week there. We called it for the week. I believe the second and third set, he took the straps off and we went raw. And again, he's just trying to save his hands. He's trying to save his hands, not shred them up on a deadlift bar or anything. But this ended the week a little bit short, so we didn't get in the 5x10 deadlifts this time. We didn't get in the glute ham raises at the end of the week, but that's okay. We got the volume on the squats. We got them earlier in the week. Should be feeling much better next week, so we'll get all that extra work in and make for a real good vlog. You guys can watch him huffing and puffing doing the 10s. But like I said, as soon as we rebuild the muscle kind of where I want it, I guess he's strapped up for this too. We'll work on that. I didn't realize he's strapped for these. So it's something I'll talk to him about later of let's go fully raw on at least the peak set. But grip is not an issue for him. He's pulled over 600 with no problems, right? Without straps before. So again, I'm not overly worried. His grip doesn't ever seem to be an issue for us, and if it is, we'll work on it. But again, 425 for 5, we called it a week, but this will be a fun vlog as we get him built up past 600 again. I think people will realize, again, he's a strong dude at the end of the day. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.